How much freedom do you really have? You might think it's about your bank account, but what if I told you the real gatekeeper of your wealth and your freedom is that little booklet in your pocket? Your passport. For most people, a passport is just something you're born with. For the global elite, it's a strategic asset, something to be acquired, managed, and even collected. This is the world of billionaire passports, where citizenship isn't just an identity, it's for sale. Your passport isn't just for travel. It's a financial cage. It dictates where your money can go, which banks will even talk to you, how you're taxed, and whether you can leave your country when things get shaky. Think about it. Money is supposed to be universal, but your citizenship determines its limits. If you're from the US or Eritrea, you're taxed no matter where you live in the world. Imagine moving to another country but still having to pay for a gym membership back home that you can't even use. That's what it's like for American expats. And if you hold a passport from countries like India, China, or Brazil, you know the struggle. Constant visa applications, limited travel options, and banks that are hesitant to open accounts for you, no matter how much money you have. It's like being a financial prisoner of your birthplace. Your birth certificate can either be a golden key that unlocks the world or a pair of handcuffs tying you to a system you didn't choose. It's not about how much you earn, it's about where you're from. So, how do you break free? The first step on this ladder of freedom is buying residency. It's the entry-level escape hatch. Countries like Portugal, Greece, the UAE, and Singapore offer what are known as golden visas. These programs let you invest a certain amount of money in real estate, businesses, or government funds, and in return, they give you the right to live, study, and bank there. In Portugal, it used to be around €500,000 in real estate. In Greece, you could get residency for as little as €250,000. The UAE offers a 10-year visa if you buy a property worth about $500,000. This isn't citizenship. You're not getting a new passport. But you are getting a crucial backup plan. It's an emergency exit. If political or economic turmoil hits your home country, you don't have to scramble for a visa or get stuck. You just pack your bags and move to your second home, where you already have legal status, a bank account, and a place to live. Think of it this way: true safety isn't about having a fortress, it's about having options. And a golden visa is one of the most reliable options you can buy. It's your plan B, ready to go when you need it most. But let's be clear about the difference between residency and citizenship, because it's huge. Residency is like having a new address. Citizenship is like owning the building. When you're just a resident in another country, you're still legally tied to your home nation. Your original passport is what defines you. Your home government can still reach you. They can tax you, sanction you, or even restrict your ability to leave their borders. Think of your original citizenship as the owner's manual for your life. Just changing your address doesn't change who holds that manual. When economies go south, guess who governments look to for cash? The wealthy. They become a renewable resource. Governments raise taxes, introduce new wealth taxes, and find creative ways to take a slice of your assets. As a resident, you're still on their radar. But citizenship? That's a different game entirely. It allows you to completely sever those legal and financial ties. For an American, renouncing citizenship is the only way to escape the IRS's global reach. True freedom isn't just about being somewhere else, it's about changing who has control over you. This brings us to the ultimate upgrade, the second citizenship. This is the billionaire's passport. We're not talking about a flimsy passport from a country with little global influence. We're talking about powerful legal tools. Many countries, particularly in the Caribbean like St. Kitts and Nevis or in Europe like Malta, offer citizenship by investment. You make a significant economic contribution by buying approved real estate, investing in a national development fund, or purchasing government bonds, and in return, you become a full-fledged citizen. This is where the real power lies. A second passport is a spare legal identity. For an American, it's the key to tax freedom. By renouncing your U.S. citizenship and becoming a citizen of a country with no income tax, you can legally stop paying taxes to the U.S. government. For someone from a politically unstable country, a second passport is an insurance policy against government overreach, asset freezes, or travel bans. It fundamentally changes who controls your money and your legal status. It's not just a travel document, it's one of the most powerful wealth protection tools on the planet. For the ultra-rich, this goes even deeper. They don't see citizenship as an emotional tie to a flag or a nation. They see it as infrastructure. It's an asset class, just like stocks, bonds, or real estate. Why would you bet your family's entire multi-generational wealth on a single country? Political landscapes shift. Economic policies change. A country that's a safe haven today could be a financial trap tomorrow. A single passport, no matter how good, simply cannot guarantee security over a 100-year timeline. So, just as they diversify their investments, the world's wealthiest families diversify their citizenships. They build a portfolio of passports. This portfolio is strategically designed. Each passport serves a specific purpose. First, you have your tax passport. This is from a country with zero or very low taxes, no income tax, no capital gains, no inheritance tax. Think of places like the UAE, Monaco, or the Bahamas. This passport is purely for financial efficiency. Next is the mobility passport. This one gets you visa-free access to the world's most important hubs for business and banking. A passport from Malta, for example, gives you access to the entire European Union. A passport from Grenada gives you visa-free access to China and a special treaty visa to the United States. This is your key to global movement. Then there's the neutral passport. This is your shield. It comes from a country that stays out of international conflicts, like Switzerland or Ireland. If your primary country gets involved in a political mess or faces sanctions, you can travel on your neutral passport and avoid being targeted. It makes you invisible. Finally, you have what you might call an asset passport, used specifically for structuring your wealth, setting up trusts, and banking. Each passport in the portfolio is a specialized tool, working together to create a fortress of freedom and security. Let me give you a real-world example of how this works. Imagine a wealthy individual who was born in Germany. As a German citizen, he's subject to German laws and EU regulations. But let's say he also acquires Swiss citizenship. Now, imagine a crisis hits, and Germany decides to implement capital controls or restrict its citizens from leaving the country to prevent capital flight. What does our individual do? He doesn't use his German passport. He drives to the border, presents his Swiss passport, and legally, at that moment, he is a Swiss citizen on Swiss soil. The German government's restrictions no longer apply to him. He just used his second passport as a private exit door while everyone else was locked in a burning building. That is the kind of freedom we're talking about. So, as we wrap this up, I want you to think about your own situation. Is your passport something that was just given to you, or is it something you've actively chosen? For most of the world, it's the former. But as you've seen, for a select few, it's a deliberate choice, a cornerstone of their strategy for wealth, freedom, and long-term security. They understand that true freedom isn't about how much money you have, but how many options you have. And it all starts with that little book that decides where you can go, what you can do, and who gets to control your life. Thanks for watching. If this opened your eyes to a different way of thinking about wealth and freedom, make sure to like and subscribe for more insights into how the world really works. See you next time.